Okay, it's 7:30 on Tuesday, December 7th, and we are in the Twinsburg Government Center. I'd like to call the City of Twinsburg Council meeting to order. Just as a side note, I'd like to mention that all of the council members up here have been sworn in, so this is a sworn-in council, but we are going to do the formalities here again tonight. Shannon, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Scaffide?
Here.
Mr. Furey?
Here.
Mrs. Labbe? Here. Mr. Post?
Here.
Mr. Bellan?
Here.
Mr. Barr?
Here.
Mrs. Walker?
Present.
Okay, next we will have the invocation and the pledge, and I will lead that tonight if everybody please rise. We ask for guidance and direction in all city matters before us tonight. We give thanks to be able to be together. Let us continue to strive to make our community a better place. Help us to work together, and may we give our best always. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah. Next, it's customary at the first meeting in December that we elect our president and our vice president of city council. So at this time, I would like to open the floor for nominations for president of city council.
Mr. President, I'd like to nominate Sam Scaffide for president of council. Is there a second?
I will second that.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Is there any other nominations? Okay. Shannon, would you call the roll?
Can you get clarification on who seconded?
By you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Daisy did. Daisy
Thank you.
Walker.
Mr. Furey?
Yes.
Oh,
Mrs. Labbe?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Post?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Bellan?
Yes.
Mr. Scaffide?
yes. Thank you so much, council, for trusting me again for well, I had a part of a year last year and for the next year coming. I appreciate that. Next, we will take nominations for the vice president of council, and I will open the floor to that. And that being said, I would like to nominate, oh, go ahead, Mrs. Walker.
Mr. Furey?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. You read my mind.
I read your mind. Is there a second for Mr. Furey?
I'll second.
Mr. Post? Any discussion?
I got you.
Any other nomination? Shannon, call the roll, please.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Post?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Scaffide?
Yes.
Mrs. Labbe?
Yes.
Mr. Bellan?
Yes.
Mr. Furey?
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you, everybody. Next, we have the approval of the minutes of the regular council meeting on November 23rd. Has anybody had has everybody had an opportunity to look them over, and are there any questions or changes?
I make a motion that we approve the regular council meeting minutes from November 23rd, 2021 as submitted.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Barr seconds. Any discussion? Shannon, call the roll.
Mr. Bellan?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Post?
Yes.
Mrs. Labbe?
Yes.
Mr. Furey?
Yes.
Mr. Scaffide?
Yes. Okay. A little out of order, but at this time, I want to call out the committees for this coming year, the council committees. Everybody has a sheet in front of them, and I'll go through them quickly. For the next, for 2022, the council committee appointments, I will be serving on the Board of Zoning Appeals, Public Works Committee, and the Safety Committee. Mrs. Walker will be on the JEDI Committee, Community Relations, Chamber of Commerce, and the Charter Review Oversight Committee. Mrs. Labbe will be on the Parks and Rec, the JEDI, Fitness Advisory, Twins Days, and the Districting Committee. Mr. Post will serve on the Environmental Committee, the Finance Committee, Capital Improvements Committee, and the Public Works. Mr. Bellan will be on the Finance Committee, Golf Advisory, Public Works, and Public Safety. Mr. Furey will serve on the Architectural Review Board, the Finance Committee, Tax Incentive Board, the Treasury Investment, and also the JEDI. And Mr. Barr will be on the Planning Commission, Public Safety, Volunteer Firemen, and the Community Relations Board. Any questions on that, council? Okay, perfect. Okay, so we have quite a few swearing in tonight. We have like 6 people being sworn in tonight. So at this time, we will I'll turn this meeting over to the mayor, who's going to be swearing in our police officers. Mayor.
We're going to record. All right, Chief.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It means a lot to me to see everybody here, and I know it means even more to those that we're here for. The last few months have been nothing short of chaotic. Described it that way a lot. And getting to a night like tonight makes me realize the work that we're doing is well worth it. And there's more work to do, and we're just getting started. So I'm excited for the opportunity that's ahead for 2 sergeants that are getting sworn in tonight, but I'm even more excited for the opportunity that's ahead for the rest of the department. I truly believe we're headed in the right direction. Speaking of the sergeants that we're here for tonight, I had the honor of promoting Sergeant Biada a few weeks ago. He was my first official promotion, and shortly after that, Sergeant Quinn. It means a lot. And a little bit about those guys, what brings them here or what they've done here. They're both very accomplished in their careers with the police department. Dan's been here over 20 years. He's got more time than that. When I started in '94, Dan was with the department, or with the city in another department. Shortly after that, he was my coworker in the police department. In that time, he's done a lot. Some of his accomplishments are he's in charge of the crash team, the Summit County Metro Crash Team, which is huge. He's the commander for that. He's been in charge of our Explore Post for many years. And more recently, for the last couple of years, I believe, he's been the SRO at Chamberlain Middle School. Officer Quinn, Pat's been here over 15 years, solid body of work in patrol. He's done a lot as far as taking on responsibility in the department. He's become a TASER instructor, our standard field sobriety testing instructor, and he wants to do more. A lot of that was evident in the interviews we had when we were going through the promotional process. As I said, I couldn't be prouder of these two.
All right, thanks, Chief. He talked about the last few months being chaotic. Well, the last couple of years have been a little chaotic also. The administration of our police department, we've had a lot of retirements. We've had lieutenants retire, we have sergeants retire, our assistant chief retire, and then we had our chief of police retire. So, Chief Mason took over at a time, which was actually, I commend Chief Noger for how he stepped aside in terms of allowing Chief Mason to come in and kind of establish the structure that he wants to see in the future of our police department. It's a really exciting time because the upward mobility for a lot of our patrol, as well for a lot of our sergeants into lieutenants, something that when we sat down and worked through that, is something that I bought into immediately. And I know it's exciting for him. It's a little chaotic, but it's exciting for him to have these promotions and the ability to see guys he's worked with for years to be able to come up and now be the future leaders of the department. So, it's an exciting time for the department. It's also an exciting time for the administration because, we all sit back and kind of watch, and we make decisions that impact the department, but we're not living there day to day with you, but we do celebrate when these things happen because it's great for the department, it's great for our community. So I just want to congratulate the two that we're going to be swearing in tonight. I know they're going to fulfill these roles with all the expectations that the department and the chief and our administration expects from them. So I'm excited to do that tonight. So I'm going to start with Sergeant Biada. If you'd raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Daniel Biada.
I, Daniel Biada,
Do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution and laws
the
of
Constitution and laws
the United States of
of
America,
the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the State of Ohio,
of the State of Ohio,
the Charter,
the Charter,
ordinances,
ordinances,
and resolutions
and resolutions
of the City of Twinsburg,
of
Ohio,
the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
and will faithfully,
and will faithfully,
honestly,
honestly,
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
as a police sergeant
as a police sergeant
of the Twinsburg Police Department
of the Twinsburg Police Department
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
as I shall answer to God.
as I shall answer to God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor.
And the badge?
I will. I'm honored, I'm humbled to be, picked by Chief Mason to become a sergeant here in the police department. And like you said, I've been an employee here for 27 years, 21 of which as a police officer. And I'm excited for the growth and the new heights that Chief Mason's going to take this department. And I really want to be part of it. And I'm looking forward to assisting him any way I can and make this the envy of all our police departments. So I appreciate the honor.
Thank you. Sergeant Quinn, you want to come up? If you'd raise your right hand or repeat after me. I, Patrick Quinn,
I, Patrick Quinn,
do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the State of Ohio,
of the State of Ohio,
the Charter,
the Charter,
ordinances,
ordinances,
and resolutions
and resolutions
of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
and will faithfully,
and will faithfully,
honestly,
honestly,
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
as a police sergeant
as a police sergeant
of the Twinsburg Police Department
as the Twinsburg Police Department
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
as I shall answer to God.
as I shall answer to God.
Congratulations. That's your turn.
I get to follow David. So, I am also very honored and excited and just, thankful for being given this opportunity by Chief Mason. And I'm excited for the future of the department, the direction that we're going in and being part of that leadership and, that group of people that's going to help take this department where it's going. And like I said before, I feel like I've earned the trust of the department leadership, and I hope to keep and earn the trust of the officers of the department and the citizens of Twinsburg. So I'm just excited for what the future has in store for all of us. Thank you.
Mayor, go ahead, you can step there and swear in our council rep.
Tonight, we're also swearing in our new council members, and our council members have been reelected. And we're going to start with Karen Labbe. So, if you'd raise your right hand. I, Karen Labbe,
I, Karen Labbe,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and
of the
laws
State of
of
Ohio,
the State of Ohio,
the Charter,
the Charter,
ordinances,
ordinances,
and resolutions
and resolutions
of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
and will faithfully,
honestly,
honestly, and impartially
impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
as a member of council
as a member of council
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
as I shall answer to God.
as I shall answer to God.
Congratulations.
Well, tonight I get this opportunity to swear in Mr. Post. As I mentioned the last time, I've known David. I met him about 14 years ago. And from the day that I met him, we immediately became friends, and we built this friendship over 14 years. In 14 years, he's always said, gee, I want to run for council. I think I want to be on council. That was always in the back of his mind. Finally, David Post got the opportunity to run for city council, and now he's a councilman. So I'm excited to be able to swear him in, too. I'm honored that he asked me to do this. So here we go.
All right.
Raise your right hand. I, David Post,
I, David Post,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution and laws
that I will support the Constitution and laws.
support and defend
That I will support and defend the Constitution and laws
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
Constitution and laws
the Constitution and
of
laws
the State of Ohio,
of the State of Ohio,
the Charter,
the Charter,
ordinances,
ordinances,
and resolutions
and resolutions
of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
and I will faithfully,
faithfully,
honestly,
honestly,
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
as a member of council
as a member of council
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
as I shall answer to God.
as I shall answer to God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to my family and friends and everyone for being here. I am really excited. As Sam said, I have wanted this for a long time, and I did ask Sam to swear me in as a friend, but also he's an incredible role model, I think, on council. I think Sam has a lot of integrity, an incredible amount of integrity, and I will mimic that integrity and help make this city the best city it can be. So thank you. I'm very excited.
That's why I put him next to me.
Okay, and I just want to congratulate Greg Bellan for getting reelected to council, well-deserved second term, and I appreciate and I'm honored that you asked me to swear you in. So raise your right hand. I, Greg Bellan.
I, Greg Bellan,
Do hereby solemnly swear.
do hereby solemnly swear
That I will support and defend.
that I will support and defend
The Constitution and laws.
the Constitution and laws
Of the United States of America.
of the United States of America,
The Constitution and laws.
the Constitution and laws
Of the State of Ohio.
of the State of Ohio,
The Charter, ordinances, and resolutions.
the Charter, ordinances, and resolutions
Of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio.
of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
And will faithfully,
faithfully,
honestly, and impartially
honestly and impartially
discharge the duties.
discharge the duties
As a member of council.
as a member of council
To the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability,
As I shall answer to God.
as I shall answer to God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It continues to be an honor and a privilege to assist and serve this community. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Now, Scott Barr, elected second term, council at large. Congratulations, Scott. And again, I appreciate and I'm honored that you asked me to swear you in. So raise your right hand, please. I, Scott Barr,
I, Scott Barr,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the State of Ohio,
of the State of Ohio,
the Charter, ordinances, and resolutions
the Charter, ordinances, and resolutions
of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
and will faithfully,
faithfully,
honestly,
honestly,
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
as a member of council
as a member of council
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
as I shall answer to God.
as I shall answer to God.
Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you so much. I can't say anything that hasn't already been said. It's a privilege and an honor. Looking forward to working with these fine folks. We've got a great group of people in the city. That's really what makes us just a really unique and wonderful place to live. Every person, elected, employed, or otherwise involved in this community is just wonderful, and I'm proud to be a part of that. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we will take a short recess. I understand that there's refreshments in the back of the room, out in the lobby there. I believe there's cupcakes and water, so we'll take about a 6 minute. No. 6 minutes. Eat fast.
6.2.
We'll go back in session. Next item on the agenda is audience participation.
There is none.
There is none. Okay. Next, we have council communication and committee reports. I know our list here reflects all of our old committees, so if anybody has anything, I'm sure next week we'll have something to say about our new committees that everybody just got, that we just were assigned to tonight. So we'll start out with David Post. I know you.
Thank you, Mr. Scaffide. Obviously, I don't have any reports on any of my committees that I have not started yet, as I just found out what they are yesterday. But I did attend the Hanukkah party on November 29th, which was the first night of Hanukkah, and that was well attended. We probably had 100 to 120 people easily, and Twinsburg Chabad brought more and more activities and decorating donuts, and there was just a lot going on. We had a photo booth this year. Sam and I took photos together in the photo booth, and it was a good time. So I'm glad for everyone who attended. It was enjoyed by a lot. So, and that's it. My report.
All right, thank you. Mr. Furey.
Thank you, good evening. None of my committees have met last week. Mark, can you put the projector on? Thank you. So, Twinsburg ran a survey, talked to residents. About 1,100 responded about a year ago at this time. And the challenges or the concerns of the residents were city finances, false information on Facebook, and communications with residents overall. So, next slide. This is the latest statement of cash from the city of Twinsburg. It'll show that we started with a beginning balance in our general fund at about $11.8 million. And we're expecting to finish with a surplus to $14.4 million. But our unexpected balance is $31.99 million. So we have $32 million available to the city right now, which is a great reserve. Mark, can you go to the next sheet, please? I brought this up in the past, but this is such a huge thing right now. Twinsburg has a gas aggregation program. To tell you the truth, several cities do, and most people can get firm pricing on gas. And the reason that you need to pay attention this year is the price of natural gas. Gasoline went up $1 a gallon in the last year. Natural gas is going to double or almost triple estimated in February of this year. If you or your parents or your relatives are on variable contracts, you will pay hundreds of dollars a year more to heat your home. The average home in Twinsburg uses 120 MCF. So when you're looking at prices right now that are on apples to apples, projected out, they're in the $5 to $7 range. That means that basically you could have a $500 increase on your gas bill easily if you don't have a fixed price. Twinsburg has one more year at $2.82 per MCF. You cannot touch that anywhere else. The 800 number is 800-699-4014. You know, my father lives in Ravenna. He's 86 years old. I looked at his bill to make sure that he had a good deal, both on electric and on gas, because the prices of your utilities are going up, and you need to take a look at that and see what you can do as a fixed rate to fit your comfort level over the next year or two. So, if there's any questions, please call City Hall. You can email me or call me. Be happy to walk you through on how to find the best rate for your house if you do not want to go with the gas price. So, Mark, you go to the next slide. You know, for 6 months we've talked about Warren Sigstock and his motion or his appeal to put some information that we had redacted on. Mark, next slide. The courts have made a ruling. There was a Facebook post that's about 1,150 words. That's just it's going to take time to respond to that. So we'll do that at another time. Mark, you go to the next slide. This is a copy of a letter that the mayor is sending out to those residents whose children are affected. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to the mayor and law director to explain further where we're at.
So I was going to address this during my report, but I can talk about it now. The letter is referring to, and the issue, and Mr. Maestros can jump in. So each year we get a request, typically from Mr. Sigstock, about payroll records, and we typically redact deductions that our employees pay. So the deductions that they pay toward health insurance or ancillary insurance or HSA. We also redact the names of minors. And we did that this time, and we did get a request to provide those names, and I said no. Ultimately, I know it's been thrown around. Whose decision was this? Ultimately, it was my decision. It falls on me. I didn't want to give up the name and addresses of the minors that have worked for the city. It was not relevant to any of the material he was seeking, and we wanted to take that stand. He did take it to a hearing and a court action, and unfortunately, we were required by law to provide that. There's been misinformation spread around by a particular group that basically says that he needed this information to back into healthcare costs, which is not true. We can provide instantaneously the cost of our healthcare insurance and our ancillary policies and anything else that need to be calculated. This strictly became, at the end, a hearing on releasing the name of minors to this individual. And I wanted to make sure we fought that to the end, and it was my decision. So I had a discussion when the ruling came out that if we are going to provide this information, and again, we had probably 6 to 12 hours additional work by our finance director to go back through all these records and unredact all the information. But we sent out 56 letters to the parents of minors that work for the city, letting them know that we were forced to release this information. And while it may seem minor to some that Mr. Singstock and a few of the people that are supporting this public record request, it's important to us because, people see this, it's now in the public eye, and you don't have to list who you are to request information. So that's what concerns me is that, we get anonymous requests for information of, minors that work here, and I just don't know where anyone could take that with it. So if it happens again, I'll fight it again, because I just don't believe, from a moral standpoint, that we should be handing out this particular information. There's been questions, and it's, if you read a lot of the stuff that was sent to me regarding some of the Facebook posts, how they beat around the bush and they talk about law and they talk about this, and I agree, there's probably no law that says we have to do it, but when you're talking about what's the wrong and the right thing to do, I felt it was the right thing to withhold this information and not provide it. I think if you quote one of the emails, Mr. Sengskar says that he's unable to find a law for the redaction of the names of minors. So he was specifically looking for the names of minors. And we tried to provide him with any and all reasons that he could be looking for, or is he looking for the names of minors of public officials that may work for the city or something like that. We provided all that information, but still, he wanted to take it to a court and be provided that information. So, ultimately there were a couple issues he fought, but at the end, the decision came down to us forcing us to provide names of minors in the city. And, I wanted to clear that up because there's misinformation, and I know there's a lot of parents that feel this way, and I'm sure I'm going to get, out of 56 letters, I'm going to get calls from parents, concerned about this issue. So I don't know if I covered everything. But.
Yes, Mayor, I think you did. And a couple clarifications I would like to make is that, at the time that this matter went to the special master to make a determination, there were a number of issues originally presented. The only issue, there was only one issue that went to the special master for an opinion, and that's the court ruling that might have been out there or been referred to. The only issue was the disclosure of the names of juveniles. There was no other issue for the special master to decide. Prior to the special master even making a decision, he sent a request to Mr. Sangstock and said, I just want to clarify, this is the only issue of outstanding information, and that was confirmed in writing by Mr. Sangstock that was the only issue left is the names of minors. And I would indicate that the payroll registry that was requested is 229 pages long. Thousands and thousands of lines of information contained on that. Of 426 employees in the city of Twinsburg in 2020 that would have received some sort of pay compensation at some point in time. Of those 426 individuals, as the mayor indicated, less than 50 were the names of juveniles. That's the only thing that was redacted that was of issue. So, in fact, we didn't even redact their hourly rate, we didn't redact where they worked, we didn't redact what department, we didn't redact how much they were paid. All of the financial information was provided, simply the names, the first and last name of those children, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, high school age kids that were working primarily to pay for their car insurance or save for college or something along those lines to have a summer job. Those names were the only names redacted. And in the city, if you think about the operations we have with the golf course, the parks, the summer camp, those function as a result of our youngest employees. Those function as a result of these juveniles willing to work for the city, willing to come in and teach at camp and do these things. And that's why, as the mayor said, he felt and the administration felt there was this importance to protect those individuals, because that information gets out. We as adults that have been in the workforce for a number of years know we get a spam email saying, you're getting this email from the City of Twinsburg Finance Department, provide your social security number, there's been an issue with your W-2. We know it's probably spam and to check and it's something going on. But our 15, 16, 17-year-old employees might not know that. And we felt an obligation as an employer to try to protect them, and that's all we were doing. Nobody, no elected official has a child that works for the city, okay? That was disclosed. We weren't trying to hide anything. We were trying to protect people that we felt did not need to be dragged into whatever this angle is or whatever is trying to be accomplished here. So that was the goal. And I think, as the mayor said, going forward, that will be to continue the goal, to try to protect our employees and protect their information when we can. So if there's any questions, be happy to answer.
Mr. Maestros, this is an individual that requested this stuff. He doesn't live in the city, correct?
Correct.
So he's not a taxpayer, has no vested financial interest in our community whatsoever.
He doesn't live here. He's not a taxpayer, no.
Okay. And just repeated public records requests, I believe historically over my time here, that cost the taxpayers and the residents of the city time and money.
And I would say, I mean, that's true. I would say that's an obligation of a city or any municipal government to provide.
Fair enough.
Right.
Understood. Just trying to clarify
Sure.
that for mine. Okay, thank you.
That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Okay. Mr. Barr.
None of my committees have met. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. The Planning Commission is not scheduled to meet in December. I spoke with Lynn Muter over Planning. Just lots of phone calls, but nobody had submitted anything in time for us to convene a meeting of the Planning Commission. I'm actually thankful that Mr. Scaffide reappointed me to that committee. I do enjoy that. Kind of keeps you in the loop of what's happening here. There will be some discussion. The Planning Update Committee is going to meet on December 15th. That's going to be their last meeting, and they will start talking about baseline greenhouse gas emissions and some of those things for planning to review. So should have some more information for you in January after that has met. And just wanted to welcome Mr. Post to council. It'd be a great addition. So glad to have you. That's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Great, thanks. My committees, same, have not met since we had our last meeting. Finance Committee met on that night, and we already reported on that. The next Finance Committee meeting will be next Tuesday on December 14th at 6:30, right here in City Hall. Mrs. Labbe.
I'm going to echo everybody else's sentiments. None of my committees met, and I am looking forward to new committees, so I'll have something to report on. But I did attend the Light the Night on the first day of Hanukkah, and Mr. Post did a wonderful job. It was a fun night, and I enjoyed being there.
Great. Thank you.
This is the longest volunteer of Light the Night, my daughter, Abby Post. Volunteered every year for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And she's here tonight.
Mrs. Walker. Nothing to report. Okay. Mr. Bellan.
Thank you. Good evening. I attended Luminosity last Saturday evening. It was an incredible event, and the turnout was the best that I can remember. Special thanks to all those who brought that together. None of my committees have met since our last council meeting. The next meeting of the full JEDI committee will be on Monday, December 13th, 6 p.m. in council chambers. The Board of Zoning Appeals is next scheduled to meet on Wednesday, December 22nd at 6:30 p.m. also here in council chambers. As we found out tonight, our committee assignments have changed. I would like to thank the members of the JEDI committee as well as the BZA for their dedicated service to those boards. It has been my pleasure to be the council rep to those committees, and I look forward to my new committee assignments. Thank you very much. And I would like to thank Mr. Mayor and Mr. Maestros for having that opinion on the release of minor names. Thank you very much. I support it 100%. Thank you. Nothing further.
All right, great, thank you. Mayor?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I also attended Light the Night. Again, this is just a special event that we do in the city. There's not many municipalities that have a specific Hanukkah event. And, you know, I think a lot of cities, you know, kind of shy away from some of the, I guess, religious aspects of what's around Christmas and around Hanukkah and a lot of the different events that we have. And I think, you know, I'm glad our city embraces it, and it's been a great event. You know, David does a great job. Seth Roden also participates. Rabbi, you know, Mendy's also now become involved and helped really take it to a whole different level. I want to thank him also for the new menorah that you see out in front of City Hall. He was instrumental in providing that to the city. Now I'm getting requests for our nativity scene update, so we're going to have to probably do that soon. But again, it's a great event. And then Luminosity was just fantastic. You know, I was here and I was getting a little worried. It was about 5:45 and we only had a handful of people, but within 15 minutes, City Hall was full. And then by the time I got to the square, it was just amazing. I don't do it very often, but I had to put out some Facebook Live videos to kind of show the amount of people that attended. And I do believe it was the biggest attendance we've ever had. It was a perfect night. I want to thank the township, you know, Jamie and Ann for the work they do. I think the township kind of steps it up a little bit each year in decorating the square. It looks fantastic. You know, we get a lot of praise for what the square looks like, but unfortunately it's not the city, it is the township. But I love the partnership we have for that event. Jamie called me this morning and thanked me and just, you know, was still, you know, saying what a wonderful event it was, and, you know, hopefully we'll continue to do that each year. And then lastly, I just want to again welcome new council members, Karen Labbe, David Post, re-election of Greg Bellan and Scott Barr, and then also congratulate Sam for being elected to President of Council and Bill for Vice President. You know, we've got a really good council here that again, we always don't see eye to eye. We have our differences at times, but that really is what makes the system work. But, you know, we all have a passion for this community. We all want to see it continue to move forward. We all have a shared vision for where, you know, we want to see Twinsburg in the next 5 or 10 or 15 years, well after we're all gone. And so that's really what excites me about being able to work with them each year. It's been a challenging last couple of years. I'm looking forward to 2022. So I know we're going to do great things. I know we're going to have our bumps in the road, but that's to be expected. So, but I just want to congratulate all of you and looking forward to working with you this next year. And that's all I have this evening, but I do have a couple of department head reports. So, Chief, you want to start?
Good evening. For the month of November, the fire department responded to 299 calls for service. That brings the total up through November to 3,038 calls, which is 14% ahead of last year's pace. Overlapping calls in the month of November were 30% of the time. Fire prevention completed 30 fire inspections through the course of the month, as well as a lot of plan reviews, as there is some building and development and remodeling going on in the city, so that takes a lot of time reviewing those plans. We also conducted 2 fire investigations during the month of November. We completed 82 training sessions for 384 hours of training over the course of the month, and we had about 4 hours of public education that contacted about 150 different individuals. Points of interest, the weather warning system was tested on the 4th, and all of the sirens functioned properly, although we still have that lingering indicator light issue on Cannon Road and Liberty. No significant updates on the facilities. On the fleet, Engine 1 returned to service after being out of service for a while, and it's working well. And we're still waiting to do our annual aerial or ladder testing, which is an annual requirement, and we're having a hard time getting the vendor lined up to do that as they are short-staffed. Our COVID-19 operations continue to function and move along well. We are still in good shape with PPE, and really the lingering factor is the way the health system is impacted right now by everything that's going on. Labor shortages and the increase in infections right now, so it's really impacting our wait times at the hospitals to unload our patients and transfer them. And there was no change in staffing in the last month, so we continue to get the work done with the people we have. And that's my report for this evening.
Thank you, Chief. All right, Michael?
Again, good evening. Our benefits page has now been implemented, so our current employees, future employees, and new hires can now go to mytwinsburg.com/benefits to learn all about our benefit packages and perks that we have for working for the City of Twinsburg. And I'm happy to announce that our 2 newest employees actually used it to prepare their new hire paperwork. So it is up and functioning, and I want to thank actually Mark Grotowski for all of his help in getting that squared away for HR. In regards to JEDI, the JEDI committee has contracted with Dr. Tamika Taylor from Compass Consulting Services. This was a big part of what the JEDI committee wanted to do to move things forward for the next year, and how they are taking the information that's being shared in their different committees and bringing it forward to the full committee, and what that scope of work will look like for next year. And we are planning our first working session to be in January of next year with Dr. Taylor, and she will be attending a Monday's meeting with the full committee to meet them and answer any questions. And I also want to thank Jessica Sumarak, who has been the JEDI intern, for all of her help and work in regards to getting that information done for us. We are in the process of aligning the new employee handbook to 147 once that is completed and okay by council. So once that is done, we will then move to finalize the new employee handbook and get training on that and out to all of our employees. There will be several sections that will be updated and several sections that will be added to our new employee handbook to show best practices and consistency across the City of Twinsburg. I'm happy to announce we received a $5,200 grant from the Bureau of Workers' Comp in regards to our Workers' Comp program. It will be used for a transitional work program. I had our first meeting with our transitional work advisor, and we're developing what that program is going to look like. We'll now be meeting with all of our department heads that are influential with transitional work here with the city to start to develop those job descriptions on what that will look like moving forward. So that is work that has started and will continue into the first quarter of 2022. Also, in regards to first quarter 2022, we will finalize a centralized performance management program. One of the things recognized is that we don't have an evaluation program across the city, and so that will be finalized coming up first quarter, and training will begin in January with all of our supervisors and managers in regards to that. Last thing I have is that we do know that COVID is real. It is rampant with all of the things going on. And so I did send out new COVID procedures for our employees, recognizing exposure versus non-exposure, as well as positive test results and what we will do moving forward with that, as well as updating them on recommendations by the CDC and aligning it with our current policy that we have here at the city, along with our mask policy. That's all.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Michael. That's all we have this evening.
That's it? Okay. We will move on to legislation. First, we have Ordinance 88, 2021.
The temporary appropriation ordinance for 2022 approved by council from estimates submitted by the mayor, providing for the ordinary expenses and other necessary expenses of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022.
Okay, that's on its second reading. Ordinance 89, 2021.
An ordinance amending Section 147 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Twinsburg regarding employees generally.
Okay, that's also on its second reading. Resolution 91, 2021.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the City of Solon to provide space in the City of Solon's jail for the housing of misdemeanants and inmates.
Okay, I make a motion to adopt Resolution 91, 2021. Is there a second?
Second.
Mrs. Labbe seconds. Any discussion? Shannon, call the roll.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mrs. Labbe?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Furey?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Post?
Yes.
Mr. Bellan?
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 91, 2021 passes 7-0. We have Ordinance 92, 2021.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio, to enter into a contract with ASME Ohio Council 8, Local 1313, Office Unit, and declaring an emergency.
Okay, at this time, I would like to make a motion that we suspend the rules and place Ordinance 92, 2021 on its third and final reading and declare an emergency. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Furey seconds. Reason for the emergency is that it will go into effect as soon as possible. Any discussion on that? Shannon, call the roll.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. Furey?
Yes.
Mr. Post?
Yes.
Mrs. Labbe?
Yes.
Mr. Bellan?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion to adopt Ordinance 92, 2021 as an emergency. May I have a second?
Second.
Mrs. Walker seconds. Any discussion? Oh, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, just real quick, I just want to thank the work that ASME did along with our union reps in clerical. This was a very expedited process to get this contract done. But again, they helped and assisted, and we really came to a quick agreement and one that's, I think, fair to both parties. So I just want to thank them for the work on this.
Great. Anybody else? Shannon, call the roll.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mrs. Labbe?
Yes.
Mr. Bellan?
Yes.
Mr. Post?
Yes.
Mr. Furey?
Yes.
Okay, Ordinance 92, 2021 passes as an emergency 7-0. Ordinance 93, 2021.
An ordinance amending Chapter 1151 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Twinsburg, allowing medical marijuana dispensaries as a conditionally permitted use in the C2 and C3 zoning districts.
Okay, that stands on its first reading. Ordinance 94, 2021.
An ordinance confirming the mayor's appointment of Matthew J. Vizana as law director for the City of Twinsburg pursuant to the city charter and declaring an emergency.
Okay, at this time, I would like to make a motion that we suspend the rules and place Ordinance 94, 2021 on its third and final reading and declare an emergency. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Furey seconds. The reason for the emergency is to allow a few weeks for our new law director to spend time with Mr. Maestros prior to him leaving. Any other discussion? Shannon, call the roll.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. Furey?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Bellan?
Yes.
Mr. Post?
Yes.
Mrs. Labbe?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Okay, next I'll make a motion to adopt Ordinance 94, 2021 as an emergency. Can I have a second?
Second.
Yield.
Mrs. Labbe seconds. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Vizana has some very big shoes to fill. Thank you for your service, Mr. Maestros. I know you've got a couple weeks yet, but thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I want to say a few words.
Okay.
Again, Dave's going to be with us for a little while longer, so we'll save our comments about Dave. But Matt Vizana is joining us from the city of Hudson. This is a little more unique opportunity for him. I think he's excited. We went through a number of interviews with some really people with some really great experience and background from a lot of different areas, and ultimately came to an agreement, decided to choose Matt, and I know he's extremely excited. I'd ask council to pass this confirmation tonight. We want to try to do this as quickly as possible to get him in here to spend a little bit of time with our current law director. We're just excited for the opportunity of Matt to come here. He does have some big shoes to fill, and there's a lot still for him to learn, but he's got some great municipal experience. He's got 10 years. This is all he's ever done out of law school, so has worked for municipalities. And so we're fortunate to get him, and I just would hope council would confirm this tonight.
A question, Mayor or Mr. Maestros. Charter says that the council has to approve the law director. Is this in fact the approval of the law director, or once he's here, do we have to do that by motion again or a resolution?
This will be it.
This is a
What
couple.
we've done historically, I mean, we've done it within 60 days, under the provision, 60 days after the new election of the mayor, but this is a new appointment, so.
That's fine. So this takes care of that
That's
charter
correct.
provision. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Shannon, call the roll.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mrs. Labbe?
Yes.
Mr. Bellan?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Post?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Furey?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 94, 2021 passes as an emergency 7-0. We'll move on now to unfinished new business and miscellaneous. Mr. Barr.
Nothing for me this evening.
Okay, Mr. Bellan.
I'd just like to once again congratulate my fellow council members on their reelection, and Mr. Post, welcome to council. Nothing further.
Mr. Post.
I just want to say that I'm very excited once again to be here and to work with all of you. It really is a really good council. I've been coming to council meetings for 14 years. And it's really no question that you guys all work very well together, and that's why I think so much is accomplished. And I'm excited to be part of that. And I want to thank my parents again, and my daughter, my friends, everyone for coming here, and thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I would just like to echo the same thing. I'm just, I want to congratulate all my colleagues up here that have been reelected and newly elected, and I look forward to working with those of us that were elected last time. I think that we've got a good year ahead of us, I believe, and I think that this is going to be a good council, and I look forward to working with all of you. I think 2022 is going to be a really good year for the city of Twinsburg, and I know that we're all going to work hard to make that happen, along with all of our departments and department heads and the mayor. So thank you, guys, and look forward to it again. Mr. Furey.
What Sam said.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay. Mrs. Walker.
I just want to say congratulations to all, and David, I remember those days 14 years ago. It was you, Sam, and myself.
You came to my house for dinner.
I did, and you made
Yes,
your
you did.
best ribs. I tell you, this guy can cook. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, Mrs. Labbe.
I'd like to say congratulations to everyone, and Sam and Bill, obviously, having a re-election as our leadership tells you that we both respect and enjoy your company, so
Thank you.
congratulations to you both.
Thank you, Karen. That was nice. Thank you. Okay, Mayor.
All right. I just want to also congratulate our sergeants again. Again, this is, as I mentioned, this is a lot of positive things happening in our police department. It's an exciting time for them, but we're really looking forward to Sergeant Biada and Sergeant Quinn and their leadership in the department. So just want to mention them again. That's all I have.
That's it, Mayor. Mr. Maestros.
Thank you, and same, congratulate council on all your new terms. You guys are coming back, starting your new terms, congratulations. And I would point out that you confirmed a new law director tonight, and as we went through that interview process, one of the questions we were getting from candidates was, what's your council like? I mean, and it was very easy to be able to tell them, oh, you're not gonna have a problem there, they're very professional, they're very understanding, you can have communications, it's not political, and that is a big positive selling point for the city. So just congratulate all of you guys and thank you. And same with Sergeants Biada and Sergeants Quinn. I mean, and those, it's well deserved for both those guys. Congratulations to them. And I just want to reiterate what the mayor said about the AFSCME office unit. We kind of pressed with them as far as pushing forward on that contract. We got a lot of work done in a short period of time. They were very cooperative, very willing to work with us, and it makes for labor peace, makes it much easier for what we do here at the city. So thank them. Thank you.
Okay. Mrs. Bucci-Gross, anything from that end of the table?
Congratulations to council and to the sergeants, and welcome to Twinsburg to Matt Hosanna.
Okay. Shannon, last but not least.
What Sarah said.
What's there? Okay. All right, that's it. At this time, I'd like to make a motion that we enter into an executive session to discuss matters pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G1 personnel. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Bellan seconds. Discussion. Call the roll, Shannon.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. Bellan?
Yes.
Mrs. Labbe?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Post?
Yes.
Mr. Furey?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Okay, I will reconvene the council meeting as soon as we're done to discuss personnel in our executive session. Thank you, everybody, for coming as well.